Alright, so here's part 2 of our photo blending kind of demo and exercise file. Go ahead and take the sample poster and go ahead and open it up in Photoshop. Let's just take a really quick look at image size here. Yeah, it's a pretty low resolution image. So I'm just going to take this off so that I can bump this resolution. If I bump this number will come down. Well, let's do, I don't know, 300. Oh, that's too small. Let's go 150. So this is 7.5 inches by 3 inches. It's kind of like a bumper sticker. So let's try to create something that's similar to this. I don't have the exact texture he used on the back, so we're just going to use this as an inspiration. You guys will learn how to like take text and make a selection out of them, and then kind of modify the text. So let's give it a shot. So I'm just gonna first make all these texts kind of straight because I don't want to have to rotate my head every time I'm looking at this thing. So let's just first create this art and then graphic design text. So I'm going to go to my text tool here and just type. I think that's kind of like an Arial bold or something like that. So I think I'm just going to do. And again, if you guys aren't finding the perfect text, I don't care really. The idea is for you guys to just do the exercise, so it doesn't matter with me. So yeah, it looks like it was Arial, but maybe it wasn't. It wasn't black, but just bold. All right, I think that's pretty darn close. All right, so I have art. So I have that text going. I'm just going to go ahead and go Control C, Control V. You notice that I have another text here. Then I'm going to put that as, oops, graphic design. And then I'm going to just reduce the font size a little bit. That was right under the T, so something like right here. I mean, you could put guides and stuff like that, and we can work on that stuff later. But for now, for the sake of speed, I don't mind you guys kind of eyeballing things. Later on, you guys are going to want to be a lot more picky when you guys do your portfolio. So I have that. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to change the font colors and all that stuff later. So that's good. I'm not sure what that says. The, and revolution, I guess. So let me just go ahead and take that, Control C, Control V, and I'm just going to put revolution on this one. I think that text is a little bigger. Oops. I don't know, about that big. Take that, Control C, Control V. Again, it creates a new layer when you go Control V and Control C. And I'll put and it seems like the and the revolution are kind of somewhat like that. I think the R is going to stick down, so maybe I have to do that. Control C, Control V. And this will be, I think that says the. I am not 100% sure. But I have most of my text somewhat organized. So I think I want the and revolution together, graphic design and art together. I mean, I could also put these in a group, but it's just let me just get going here. The and revolution. So here you can see that the R actually sticks down much further. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the revolution and I'm going to hold down Control and hit that. It creates a selection out of anything that's in that layer. So basically that's what I'm looking at, right? And then so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make another layer, kind of bring it down here. Now I can turn that off, and this is what I'm looking at, just a blank layer. And I believe the revolution was black, so I'm just going to fill that with my black. So I have my foreground color set to black and Alt backspace. And actually I think the R stuck out more, so I'm in my selection tool. I'm going to add to my selection, and I'm just going to make this super long, kind of like that, and then again fill it. Oop. Go to this layer, fill that. Alright, I think I didn't really quite, yeah, I'm going to go from here and kind of make it a little bit bigger, using some artistic freedom here. There we go. So deselect, Control D. So I have revolution type, so technically I don't need this anymore. I don't need to see that, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that, just so that I don't have a bunch of layers that I don't need. So I have that. I'm going to take the and in this case I'm not making any edits to the and, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to my text tool, double click on it, and then fill that black. So, and the reason why I'm doing that is, one, partially is laziness, but secondly, I don't really need to convert it because it also gives me the free flexibility later to, edit the text or whatever I need to do. So I'm just going to keep that freedom there, and I'm just going to go like that. So this and that should be together. So if I want to move that thing together, all I have to do is just select Control, and then it'll affect both at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this thing. I'm going to hold down Shift, which rotates things in a 45. And I think this is a 45. Oh no, it's not quite 45. I'm going to keep it at 45 because it'll make my life easier. But yeah, if you wanted to make it perfect, obviously you can nudge it. Alright, never mind, I'll do it. So that seems like it's 127 degrees. 126.5 degree. I wonder if there's a way to rotate this thing. Hold on. I'm going to see if there's a rotate function that I can actually key in. I think it was a Control. Duh, it's right in front of me. So when you go to Edit, Transform, Rotate. Oop, I just toggled it off. Edit, Transform, Rotate. Your options bar here, it'll tell you how much you can rotate it. So I think it was 127. So, and then you double click on it to finish that command, and then I can move it. So I have that. So I'm pretty close here. I'm a little shy on the bar here, but that's again kind of use your skills that you've developed up to now. I'm just going to make a copy of this. I'm in that layer 1, and again you're going to go to move, but you're going to hold down the Alt button. And, oops, see. Oh, they're both selected. Sorry, just that. And then you're going to hold down the Alt button. You see that? And then I'm just going to move it and replace some of those pixels. Control D. So there's that. And then let's just turn these off so that I'm not confused. Let's go to the, and the can stay white, and I believe it is white. Okay, the is white, so I want to make sure that's the layer that I highlight. Again, rotate, I believe it was 127 that we used. Yep. Kind of get it up there. And then I'll line all this up later, but the is up. Oops, see. I escaped before I clicked, or before I checked that, so that's why it bounced back. Double click on it, or you can check that little box. And we will arrange this in another time. Alright, and so now let's do the art and graphic design. So the is fine. Art, I'm gonna make a selection because I need to extend that T out. So again, I'm going to control and hit that, which makes it a selection. So now I no longer need that really. I'm going to make a new layer and I'm going to fill that with this reddish color. I'm going to take my eyedropper and select that red and then Alt backspace fill it. Actually, I should have extended this out. Just want it to get some screen space here. So I've added to the selection and then Alt backspace. So then there's that art. Control D. Let me go to graphic. So I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to delete it so I don't have extra stuff. Turn on graphic design. Graphic design should be black. Alt backspace. And then take both of these and control. You select both so they move at the same time. I believe this is going to be the opposite of this, or 90 degrees minus. So let me do some really quick simple math here. 127 minus 90 degrees. So 37 degrees, I think, I hope. Rotate 37 degrees. Yep, that was it. And alright, so obviously this layer here is too small. So again, you know, if you don't panic, this is all you're looking at. The idea is just to make this bigger, right? So you could select everything in that layer by going control and clicking that. And then you're going to just go to transform and scale. So just make it bigger. And let's just make it that big. I don't know. I'm sure it's close. Yeah, pretty darn close. I'm not going to sweat it. So now I can turn on all of these guys. I'm getting pretty close here. Control D. Let me turn all this off and let's just kind of mimic this red and white, you know, thingamajigger. So I'm going to make another layer and obviously bring it way down here. And I will select I'm an old school Photoshop user and I'm used to having more tools up here, but they've hidden a bunch. And if you come down to the last one here, it opens up a whole bunch of new tools. Can I just right click? Hold on one second. Nope. So I can just right click on that. That opens up more. So there's this polygon lasso tool, which allows you to draw straight lines. So I like that. So I'm going to just click here and kind of take this. Technically that should be like 100 and whatever degree angle, right? So I'm just going to do that. So then I selected this part. I'm in layer 3. I'm going to eyedrop that and then fill it. And then I'm going to go to select inverse. So it selects the opposite, and I have the white. So control. So I have this kind of, I guess it's kind of like a diver symbol. And then I can turn on my graphics to see where I'm at. I'm pretty darn close. All right. So I'm going to take the kind of bleed it to the white so it disappears. And take it all the way to the edge. All right, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, replica. The only thing missing right now is this kind of this grungy, filter. I think there's some gradient, like a certain radial gradient. So let's attempt to do that. I'm gonna actually filter it right on top of this layer. So I am going to open up, and you guys should have this file. Let me take this one. It probably has a pretty close. So I'm going to open it and drop it right in this window, and it should give me, and I'm just going to resize it like that. And then you notice that this is right on top of my base layer. So what I want to do is I want to blend this guy into this guy. So I'm simply going to, first of all, I want to stamp it in there, and I'm simply going to take that layer and multiply it. And there you go. So without it and with it. All right. So hopefully that was a good primer. Again, practice it. Again, I want to tell you, I'm not interested in you guys making it perfect. I'm just using that as an inspiration. And then after that, I'm having you guys be creative. So I don't care if it doesn't look identical. I just need you guys to learn how to practice layer, text, editing, adjusting, and just most importantly, continue to have fun. See you guys.